Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
All right, welcome back, everyone. My name is Danny Flores with OC Power Players, and today we have Kevin Murphy zooming in from Irvine, who runs a clearing firm. He has a degree from applied mathematics from Berkeley, and he also has an MBA from Notre Dame. This is his fourth clearing brokerage firm that he started, and it's pretty impressive what he's done. So hi, Kevin, welcome. Can you give us a quick snapshot of your business right now?
Sure, Danny, great to meet you. I appreciate it. So it can be difficult to explain, but if you look at it this way, every broker-dealer you've ever heard of, Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab, has their own clearing firm, which means they have access to the markets, access to money, access to, take care of their clients. Smaller brokerage firms, not the Merrill Lynch's or the Schwabs that maybe only have 50,000 clients as opposed to a couple million, it's expensive for them to build their own clearing firm. So what we do is offer all those services to those smaller broker-dealers. They use us to get access to the market. They use us to get access to capital. A little broker-dealer might have a difficulty getting into Bank of America or JP Morgan to get financing. But if we can aggregate 30 of those firms into one place, then they look like a Charles Schwab and BofA will talk to them and JP Morgan will talk to us. So we aggregate smaller broker-dealers so that they can give their clients the same services that the Schwabs and the Merrill Lynch's could give them. Basically, that's what we do.
So you were in college and you're doing this now. What was that path? Because, sometimes what we study in college isn't exactly what we end up doing. Life just throws us in a different direction. So what happened there?
That's funny. My dad read the paper every day and would talk the stock market, and that's where the money was. So I had no idea what to do when I graduated college. So I thought I'd get into the market, right? That's where all the money is. So I started on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, became a trader. I really enjoyed it, definitely. But I realized at an early age, as a trader, when the market's going up and things are good, yes, it's great. When the market's going down, it's not great. But those guys need what I called is the picks and shovels. How do they get to the market? How do they trade? How do they do those things? So basically what we do is we sell them the picks and shovels. We get them access to the market. We get them access to finance. We get them, ability to trade. So yes, it's much better when the market's going up. Everybody's happy. But even when it's going down, it doesn't matter to us. We make money every day. I kind of compare it to the gold rush. Everybody looking for gold, none of them really found gold, but the people that sold them picks and shovels made money every day. So that's kind of what we do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, that's exactly it, right. Whoever thinks the outlier, like, I'm going to be the support product versus going out there doing the digging and chasing that gold, ends up with the most gold sometimes.
Exactly.
So is there a lot of competition in what you do? Because the difficulty of starting up.
Yeah, there's probably about 27, 30 active clearing firms in the U.S. And like I said, 20 of them are the firms you've heard of, Merrill Lynch, Schwab, JP Morgan. There's another 10 that do what we do. And yeah, it's definitely a competitive space for the 10 of us. So yeah, we run into each other every day. And I would say when I started in doing this, the U.S. was the growth market. So all of us were going after those firms. In my viewpoint, that's changed. The U.S. is a mature market now. There's not a lot of opportunity to pick up U.S. clients. So what we've done is we've gone international. We're very big in Hong Kong. We're very big in Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia. We just got into Australia, and our growth has exploded. I know those other 10 are still in the U.S. and they're a little behind us, luckily, but our growth internationally is unbelievable these days. We've grown by 200% in the last year, and I'm expecting to grow another 100% 2025.
And so to be able to target those clients, does that include travel, going out there, visiting it with them, face-to-face meetings, or how does that work? In conferences, there's many different ways to pursue clients.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of got lucky. So before COVID, I spent a good amount of time in Hong Kong and I got to know a lot of people. Why, I don't know, but I got a good relationship in the APAC region and a good reputation. And now after COVID, things are, that's been what, 2 years-ish. Things are picking up really well. And because of that previous reputation I had, we're kind of a step in front of everybody. And I think we get the first phone call from new firms in Hong Kong or Taiwan. And it's been great. It's been great for us.
So that means that your relationship with these different institutions sets you apart and sets you apart from your competition right now. One, because you have established the relationships first, and secondly, because you're there already, they're not, and you're being able to get those clients.
Correct. And I don't want to generalize, but the Asian community in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, really doesn't trust the West, to be honest.
Right.
But once they trust you, you're like family. And so, yes, it took me a good year, 18 months to build that trust. But now when I get on the phone with somebody, it's another Asian person saying, hey, this is Kevin Murphy. This is the guy you got to talk to. We trust him. And it's like I'm part of the Asian community these days in that part of the world. And it's been phenomenal for us.
So does that require that you speak a foreign language as well to communicate with it?
I sure wish. I've tried to learn Chinese a few times, but no, that's a tough one. So no, I do not.
Okay. Well, I guess everybody speaks English, so that makes it easier for you at this point.
Exactly.
So what comes easy for you? What do others find challenging in your space?
Well, building that trust, definitely 100%. And I've been doing it 30 years. So obviously me or my team have made a ton of mistakes over the years, but we've learned through those mistakes. I think other firms, I hate to pat us on the back, but probably aren't as knowledgeable as we are. We were actually, when I started a firm called Electronic Transaction Clearing, we were the first firm that was not one of the Merrill Lynch's, Schwab's to start this process. And now others have come afterwards. Like I said, there's probably 10 today. But back then in 2007, we were the first one. And so I think people look at that, and I think we learned a lot more building that first firm than maybe some of these others coming along.
But you're on your fourth firm right now. Is that correct?
I am. ETC would have been the first. And then I built two others, which I sold. And now I found just this great group backing us out of Hong Kong. They had a ton of money. They're the nicest people on the planet. And this will be my last stop.
This is it. This is it.
I'm getting old, Danny.
I guess we spoke a little bit about your kids. No, I get it. We don't have the same energy that we had when we were younger. And we just want to kind of cruise a little bit, right?
Exactly.
That's the idea. And then the kids get out of college and we don't have to worry about that bill anymore. And basically home free from there.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We got four of them, 4 boys. 3 of them went to UC schools. The other one played pro soccer in Spain. So we've been really lucky. But yes, they're all out now and working. So they're off the dole. I'm not paying for them anymore.
So 4 boys. So you know what? I have 4 boys as well.
Oh, nice.
Slightly younger than yours, I believe. Mine are between 19 to 23. They're all still in college. They have 2 graduating this coming year.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, mine are 25 to 31. So yeah, we're about 5 years ahead of you.
Yeah, just about 5 years. Now, did any of them think about getting into your business?
I actually have one who works here. The 31-year-old runs operations with me here. And yeah, the others have talked about it, so that might happen. But they're doing good. They're doing good.
So I have 2 that actually want to get into business, right? What path did you take with yours to make sure that they didn't think they were entitled and keep them productive, but still bringing them into business?
I think we were pretty tough parents. I mean, I sometimes feel sorry for the kids. I don't think they had 5 minutes when they were little kids and we didn't know where they were going or what they were doing. Right. And then the other thing we did, we had them get jobs when they were 16. I mean, they didn't have to. We were doing fine, but I just think working at Vaughn's as a bag wear something, just makes the kid different and makes them not entitled, earning their own money, starting figuring stuff out. So those two things are important to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm real careful with as well. Not to give him too much, to basically teach him how to fish, not give him the fish.
Exactly.
I think as a parent, that's super important to be able to give them the tools to become productive, basically, and learn how to chase it themselves.
Right. No, I agree completely. And my wife's actually probably better than that. Like they'll call with a problem and I want to find the solution. That's just the kind of person I am. But my wife will say, oh, great. Well, what are you going to do about that? And that's the best line you could do as a parent because, figure it out. Great. What are you going to do about that?
Right. Yeah. Make him think, right? Make him, give him the ability to learn how to solve problems, basically, is what the idea is.
Exactly.
Very good. So if somebody, let's just say as an example, somebody is coming out of college and they want to get into the business, what suggestion do you have? What path would you suggest for them to take?
It's unfortunate because when I started, you could work on the floor of an exchange, and that's learning the beginning to the end in a trade and everything. That really doesn't exist anymore. But what I tell kids that want to get in the industry, the best move you could make is find a registered investment advisor that's a little older. Maybe he's 60, and go work for him. You can learn sales, you can learn the industry, you can learn everything. Mm-hmm. And then it's perfect because that guy's close to retirement. If he's going to retire 5-10 years from now and you're the guy working hard and doing it for him, that's a book you can take over. A lot of those guys sell their book like over a 10-year period. So maybe you pay him $100,000 a year or something to buy him out, and you end up with a great, stable business. And running an RIA it's a relationship business. So that would be my advice. Find a good RIA firm and start there. Right.
Okay. No, that's a very good tip because sometimes people don't even know where to start. And right. At least that's a decent starting point that exposes them to the business. And then if they really like it, they can flourish from there. And if they don't, they don't. I mean, they know they don't like it and they can do something else.
Exactly.
So what was one of your biggest challenges that you had to overcome during your career?
So when we started the last firm I mentioned, electronic transaction clearing, we only had about $5 million. And at one point we were trading 10 billion shares a month. We were one of the biggest firms on the street. It was close to impossible to finance that business. So there were a lot of days where we needed to come up with $25-30 million that we did not have. Building those bank relationships and building those things, probably some of the most difficult parts of my career. Getting on the phone at 6 a.m. and knowing by the end of tomorrow you have to have $30 million and finding it is not an easy prospect. But there were many days that was what we needed to do. And somehow we always get it done. Not sure how, but somehow we always get it done.
Right. Since that was my next question, were the days that you didn't get it done, but it looks like you didn't have a choice.
No, there's no choice in the industry. If you do not make your settlement payment by the end of day 2, the regulators will shut you down. And there were a couple of days we were a little threatened with that because of our lack of financing. But we slowly built. In the beginning, it was much more difficult, but over time, we built good relationships where we could finance stuff and get some done. But no, there's no choice. Either find it or your firm is
done. Wow, that's a scary choice. But sometimes when your backup is against the wall, you really come out and perform.
Yeah, I remember one night talking to my wife, and she was sitting on the couch. She said something like, how are you going to get this money? And how are we going to do this? I go, if we don't get the money, we can't make the house payment next month. So I'm going to figure out how to get this money.
Yeah, the kids and your wife and everybody that you everybody down. Wow, that's a lot. Exactly. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
Yes. Those were stressful days sometimes.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Good thing you're past them now. I think that for every business at some point struggles with cash flow or financing, right? It's a hurdle that we all have to go through. And we just have to figure it out. There's just no other way.
Yep. I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs now that are like trying to raise money and get started. And I tell them it's a numbers game. If you have a book of 100 people, it's much better than having a book of 5 people. And you just have to build that book of people you can call and say, I need 5 million. And, like I said, if there's 100, you'll find it. If there's 5, you're going to have a problem. So building that book is so important.
And maintaining the relationship and staying in contact with people so that you're not calling them just when you need money a year later, and then they don't even remember who you are at that time.
I think being a CEO is definitely a sales job. You have to be a good salesman, and your word means everything. If you're not a man of your word, being a CEO is a difficult job, I think.
Right. And it's a small world. Everybody will find out that you're not playing on the level, you're not being transparent with everybody, which is something that we all know we have to be.
Exactly.
And it'll catch up to you sooner or later. Absolutely.
The other thing.
Wow. So it looks like.
Go ahead. I apologize.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, the only other thing I was going to say about being a CEO is that, I think it's really important that you know your employees and respect your. There's all different kinds of CEOs, but the most important thing in a company is your employees. And maybe just stupid stuff, knowing maybe their mom passed last week. So today they're a little snarky. Maybe understand why they're snarky. If you're one of those, CEOs that think they're so important and, you don't care about your employees, I just think that's a poor CEO and doesn't really understand his job.
Well, your employees is the team that helps you get to where you're at now. I mean, they're super important part of the game. I agree with you. We should always have respect for them and understand what their needs are, and also understand where they want to go in their career, and what can we do as an employer to help them get there. I think it creates a much better environment for the team.
100%. Nothing makes me happier than, and I'm overstated, but if an employee comes to me and says, "Hey, I got a job at PIMCO and they're going to pay me twice as much," of course I'm disappointed. I love my employees, but I give them a big hug and say, good for you. That's great. I mean, that's great. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and then. And we do whatever we can to help them reach things going well for your business. So congratulations 100%. On that. Some people in your position look for other ways to generate additional income passively outside of their main business, either for retirement or for additional income for their family. Is that something that you might be interested in, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that'd be difficult for me, the situation I'm in. I mean, I like where I'm at. But I do, there's investment strategies I do that other people don't do that I think generates more income for me than probably other persons. So that helps me out a ton. But outside of that, no, I'm in a great situation.
Okay, great. What does 2025 look like for you? New year, new president. I'm
not allowed to say anything politically because I might not sound like a nice person.
I get you. We all kind of be careful with that.
Yes. He'll cut regulations, which certainly will help us. It's about the only positive comment I can make about the guy. But 2025 is going to be great for us. We are just exploding. Like I said, I think we'll have 100% growth next year. If we were talking last year, I probably had 15 employees. We now have 35. I think next year we'll be approaching the 50 level. We're starting to build out of the space. We're exploding. It's been great for us.
That's phenomenal. At this stage of the game, that's just being able to grow that much, double your business from 1 year to the next. That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much for sharing your story and how you got here. It's super interesting. I think our audience will definitely like it. If somebody would want to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Sure. I'm pretty open. So you have questions or I can help you out with anything. I'm at kmurphy@tickersclearing.com. The tickers does not have an E, so it's TICKRS. It's a marketing thing I don't understand, but kmurphy@tickersclearing.com. And yeah, feel free. I got no problem helping somebody out, get in the industry or giving them some thoughts. I'd love to help people out.
That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And once again, thank you for coming on and taking the time to come on our show.
No problem, Danny. It was fun. I appreciate it. Take care, huh?
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.